Before I make a few remarks about the main topic, I do want to just take a moment to express my condolences to the government and people of India for the June 2nd train crash in Odisha and the tragic loss of life. As we have said many times, but you can't say it too often, the United States stands with the people of India as it recovers from this terrible tragedy. As by now everyone knows, in just 8 days, the President and First Lady will have the honor to receive the Prime Minister of India to the White House for an official state visit and dinner. That's only the third such occasion of this administration, and I can tell you from having spoken with the President about it just today how much he's looking forward to it, how much attention to detail this is getting at the very highest levels of our government. And as good evidence of that, as we gather here, as I know all of you know, my boss, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, and other senior White House officials are themselves in New Delhi for meetings with Prime Minister Modi, for National Security Advisor Doval, with the Minister of External Affairs Jay Shankar, and other senior officials to review progress, deliverables, and everything else related to this historic visit. And to further the work of our governments to deepen strategic convergence, strengthen our policy alignment, and elevate and expand strategic technology and defense industrial cooperation, which are becoming so essential to the relationship between our two countries, among many other priorities. Last week, I had the opportunity to meet in Washington with Indian Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra, who reminded me that in the span of just a few short weeks, we will have had visits to New Delhi by the U.S. Secretary of Defense and National Security Advisor, and then obviously a visit to Washington by the Prime Minister of India, which just says an incredible amount about the importance of this partnership and this relationship and how committed each of us are to it and to each other. After years of strengthening ties across administrations, the U.S.-India partnership is deeper and more expansive than ever, and we really believe that. We now look instinctively to each other and work cooperatively to uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific, to drive innovation, and to jointly tackle global challenges. As the world's oldest and largest democracies, India and the United States share a deep bond. From the democratic values that define us and the breakthrough innovations that we drive together to the ties of family, history, and heritage that unite our people, we really are natural partners. And I believe that we're ready to meet the challenges and seize the opportunities of this unique moment that we're in. Together and working with other like-minded partners, our countries will shape the future, working towards a world that is more open, more prosperous, more secure, more stable, and more resilient. And I'll just offer a brief overview of the highlights, as we see them, of the partnership that we are building and growing and strengthening with India. First, our major defense partnership. So our two countries consult regularly to assess regional developments and put in place an architecture to cooperate more closely through joint exercises, information sharing, logistics networks, and interoperable communication systems. We continue to strengthen India's status as major defense partner through defense industrial cooperation that co-develops and co-produces important military capabilities for both of our countries. Second, our strategic technology partnership. I know you're all aware of our path-breaking initiative on critical and emerging technologies, or ICET. We like acronyms, which we inaugurated in this very room just under 5 months ago, and which is already catalyzing government, business, and university cooperation in defense, space, semiconductors, advanced telecommunications, biotechnology, and emerging technologies like AI and quantum to foster an open, accessible, and secure technology ecosystem. This technology ecosystem in areas such as Open RAN and 5G will offer other countries beyond just the U.S. and India, advanced communications alternatives that are consistent with our shared democratic values, a case each of us is making with our partners around the world. Third is our work together on the clean energy transition. The United States and India share a common vision to decarbonize our economies and deploy clean energy, which is obviously reflected in both of our countries' 2030 targets for climate action and clean energy. No country's clean energy transition will be more consequential to the world than India's. And together, we are pushing each other to develop and deploy innovative solutions that will strengthen climate security, expand peaceful uses of civil nuclear energy and unlock climate finance solutions to mobilize the information, the technologies, and the resources we need to create the clean energy economy of the future. Fourth, as two of the world's foremost centers of innovation, we are driving global prosperity together. Bilateral trade exceeded $191 billion in 2022. Many of the people in this room were probably partly responsible for that. And that nearly doubles the total from 2014. And India's G20 presidency, which is obviously underway this year, has brought renewed focus on strengthening multilateralism and international cooperation to tackle global challenges, achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and is also laying a foundation for a strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth. Fifth, linking our people more closely together. So we are welcoming new education partnerships and taking steps to support the growing demand for travel between our countries. U.S. Mission India last year issued 125,000 visas to Indian students, which was a record. And Indian students are on pace soon to become the largest foreign student community in the United States. I should also say our relationship is also grounded in the values that are cherished by both our people and our founders: democracy, pluralism, tolerance, openness, and respect for human rights. These enable us to work together and to work together with civil societies and with NGOs to build a more resilient, more peaceful, more secure democratic societies and a more peaceful, more resilient, more secure world. And we maintain an ongoing dialogue on human rights, on freedom of the press, because our relationship is strong and mature enough to engage even on sensitive topics, and because as the world's two largest democracies, it is central to who we are. We want this visit that is coming up to take U.S.-India ties to an even higher level, a future where U.S. and Indian astronauts are on joint missions in space to explore our universe, a future where our universities are exchanging more students in science and engineering and are doing cutting-edge research together in the areas that will define the world economy this century, a future where our nations succeed in building resilient semiconductor supply chains, a future where we co-develop and co-produce critical defense systems not only for our countries but for the world. President Biden often says, in fact, I heard him say it just tonight when talking to the chiefs of mission from the United States who are assembled from around the world, that our world stands at an inflection point. The U.S. and India are choosing to work together to seize that moment, to create a more prosperous, secure, and healthy world. And I want to leave you with maybe the most important thing, which is to thank all of you for your partnership in this endeavor, which we truly are in together. So thank you very much.